Aloha, good evening everybody, and welcome to the Rudy Project media get-together here at the beautiful Hulihe'e Palace. A little bit of trivia before we get started. There are only two places in the United States of America designated as royal grounds by the Queen of England and the English Parliament. One is Iolani Palace in Honolulu on the island of Oahu, and this is the second one. This is Hulihe'e Palace here in Kailua, Kona. So we always ask, whenever I MC events here, we always ask to respect the royal grounds as designated by the Queen of England and the monarchy, not monarchy, what is it, the English Parliament there in England. My name's Aero, I'm a local radio personality and TV personality. I'll be one of your co-MCs tonight. Feel free to come up to the front lawn here, unroll one of the cigars that we have rolled out for you. That'll be your little beach mat if you want to take a seat on the grass. I've already been asked a couple of times, where are the restrooms? The restrooms are just around the corner over here, just beyond where they've got the pizza and salad. And I know there is still beer available on that tip. Big mahalo to our friends at Kona Brewing Company. At this time, I'd like to invite front stage and center, our co-MC. He has been with the Rudy Project for over 10 years. He's a longtime member of Team Timex and Team Power Bar. He is also the Vice President of USA Triathlon. How about a nice round of applause for our friend Barry Siff, everybody.
Turn it on. Wow. Okay. How do you turn it on?
Hey everybody, it's so good to be here. There's no better place to be in the world than in Kona, Hawaii this week. Is that right?
I agree.
Everybody?
I agree. It's like Christmas in Kona right now, Barry.
We agree with that. And thank you very, very much to Rudy Project for having this spectacular evening. And like Eddie O said, come on up front and center. We've got some guests here. But to kick things off, I'm extremely honored to introduce the president of Rudy Project North America. Let's bring up Paul Craig to welcome you all.
Paul Craig, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. This is the second year we're throwing an event here in this sacred ground. And I remember last time we had, when Paula was singing, we had a lot of people sleeping on the grass. So we decided to change the format a little bit this year. 4 years ago, I made it out here for the first time, and I set up a table at our new permanent location, which will be a year-round location right across from the palace. So if you guys haven't visited it, please visit it. It's open tonight, and you can direct friends there. But 4 years ago, I came and I experienced the magic of the island. And I said, boy, this is pretty cool. We should do something a little bit bigger. And over the last 4 years, we've done bigger things. And hopefully you've seen a whole bunch of our helmets out there. Hopefully you've seen our athletes out there. And you've seen people wear the paraphernalia and whatnot. We think we're going to have a great year. Hopefully Pete Jacobs will say a few words, the reigning champion. but we think we're going to have a fantastic year. In fact, we think more than half of the competitors here will be wearing a Rudy Project sunglass or helmet, which is pretty phenomenal for a family business. And hopefully we're going to hear just a couple of words from Cristiano, who's Rudy's son, who is the chairman of the company over in Italy. But anyway, I want to keep this short and sweet. Enjoy yourselves. We got pizza. We'll have some of our pros come up. We think it's a great company. We're all about innovation. We're technically cool. We like to listen to our athletes. We like to go out there and kids, cover your ears, and we like to kick some ass. So have fun, and we'll hopefully have a great race. Oh, Cristiano, or if you're in the house, come on down. Cristiano just flew in from Italy, so his jet lag might be getting the best of him. I hear his voice.
Come on, Cristiano. We need to hear some Italian flavor to this party.
And if John Cobb is in the house, we would let John talk for around a minute, which is virtually impossible, about our new Wing 57. I don't think he's in the house, so I'm going to ask Cristiano to talk about the Wing 57 for a second.
Hello, hi everybody. I'm Cristiano Barbato. I'm the president of Rudy Project. This year I didn't have to come, but I couldn't resist, so I'm here again. I was here last year. I had so much fun, and it's always a pleasure to come here. We take this chance to have an official unveiling of our new helmet. This helmet is something very special for me. It's a product that I'm very proud of. We just did a very simple thing. We just did the most fast helmet in the world. And it seems like an easy task said like that, but it isn't. I mean, it was like 3 years of development. We partnered with John Cobb, that I think you all know. And we did a lot of testing. We changed the design at least 10 times during the development. We tuned it little by little. We tested the wind tunnel, and now we already delivered it. Okay, the first appearance was in Tour de France with the Canada team, with Peter Sagan and all the team. And then we have in triathlon we have only a few pros using it in Frankfurt. And now we will have a selection of pros that will use it. We will have, I mean, only few lucky ones who can wear it, because okay, you must be patient. For the US version, you have to wait another couple of months, and it will be ready. This is the European version, which is possible to use in the race. And I mean, I'm so proud, because the feedback I'm hearing also tonight from the pros who test this is unbelievable. They say the feedback is only fantastic. So, if you're here, it means that you are a Rudy ambassador. So, I hope to celebrate with you Saturday. Good luck, and try hard and play harder.
Thank you, Cristiano. Thank you very, very much. Again, Cristiano is the President and CEO of Rudy Project Worldwide. And now it's my pleasure to introduce a couple of we have lots of professional athletes here. As Paul mentioned, the preponderance of athletes on Saturday will be wearing Rudy Project helmets. They'll be wearing Rudy Project eyewear, but we have a few select athletes I'd like to call up here today. I'm going to start with one, because you know, I'm North American, I'm from the United States, I'm from Colorado, and this guy has been knocking at the door for so many years. He won his first Ironman out of the gate, I can remember, several years ago, and he's won so many races of all distances. He's represented the United States in the Olympics. He is an Olympian. He's from Colorado Springs. Let's bring up Andy Potts. Andy Potts, everybody. Andy, are you limping? What's that all about? No, what was that?
Dusting off the sand.
Dusting off, okay.
Yeah.
So Andy, one obvious question. You know, the rap, if there's a rap on Andy Potts relative to Kona, it's the fact that you race a lot.
Okay.
And may not focus as much. You got a little pizza on the...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. May not focus as much on this race. And last year, as a result, you only got 7th place.
Sure.
Which isn't too bad for most people. So what do you do differently this year?
All right, so the fact that I get knocked on, for me, is a good thing. I think it's a good thing as a professional athlete, and the fact that I can attract dissenting views and chatter means that, you know, I'm being scrutinized. And, you know, you look at other professional athletes like LeBron James, Tiger Woods, I mean, they get put through the ringer and for their decisions, for their actions, for the way they look, for the way that they comport themselves, all those things. So I think that because of that, I'm a fan of, you know, having dissent upon my actions and my decisions. But, you know, as a professional, I take full responsibility for what I do, and I don't have all the answers, certainly, but the journey that I'm on with triathlon is one of, you know, trial and error, and see what works and what doesn't, and I'm slowly figuring it out. Even if it do get everything figured out one year, the paradigm shifts and it's always evolving. So I may not have it figured out for the next, but I'm willing to try, and I think that's the big thing.
So in the fact that you're the first person out of the water generally, and you'll be in the top 2 or 3 out of the water and right in the lead out of the gate, whereas other athletes have to watch what occurs in front of them.
Yeah.
You kind of dictate, you have the ability to dictate a lot during the race. Is there anything different in 2013? Do we expect anything different in 2013 than 2012?
I think a big thing is making people uncomfortable, and use my strengths to make people uncomfortable. I think that empowers me as a racer. And also, if you look at other sports and you look at other athletes, the great athletes make people uncomfortable in whatever they do. So because I can use the swim as a weapon and a strength, hopefully it makes a few people uncomfortable, and I can use that to my advantage later on in the day. Maybe they have to dump too much gas early on, and they'll pay for it, you know, maybe at hour 7. But I have been spending more time on my bike. That was a big change this year.
Have you seen the outside at all this year?
A few times.
Okay.
A few times.
Those of you who don't know, Andy still does most of his
Yep.
training inside on his bike.
I've actually ridden in the new Wing 57 on the Queen K up to Javi twice in the new helmet.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I have used it a bunch of times.
And how do you feel about the new helmet?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Mostly because of the weight and the way that it sits on my head. It feels like I don't have a helmet on, but I know that I'm protected. And I think that, yeah. Cool. And then I love the visor, too.
Nice.
I've always been a fan of it.
Well, thanks, Andy. We know we're going to catch a lot of you both on Saturday, and the general public will see you certainly in November on the NBC telecast, because you'll be certainly leading a hell of a long way. We know that, Andy. Thanks very much. Andy Potts, everybody. As I mentioned, we have a number of pros in the audience at the party tonight. I want to bring up one who I would say is under the radar a little bit right now, but she really isn't. She has done probably more Ironmans than most anyone, not only here, but certainly among the professional field, over 40 Ironmans, but only a handful since 2010 when she turned professional. But in 2012, she won 3 of those Ironmans. Let's bring up Meredith Kessler. Meredith, are you here? Where are you? In your dress there. That's all right. That's all right. You weren't. I didn't tell you when you were coming up here. So Meredith Kessler.
Hi.
Again, I'm going ahead with obvious questions that if and I am a fan, as you know, a total fan.
Thank you.
Passionate fan.
Thank you.
Of both you and of the sport. And you know, you had an amazing 2012. You come out in 2013. You make the mistake of going to Robert Vigorito's race. Eagle Man, which, all kidding aside, is one of the greatest races around.
I'll be there next year.
And she'll be there next year, but have a terrible crash and recovery from that. Talk us through the recovery process, what went through your mind, and tell us how you feel going into Saturday.
Sure. Oh gosh, the crash, you know, was almost a good thing because I don't really remember it, which I think is better because I've been in crashes that I actually really remember. So I was totally blindsided, and I just had a really bad concussion for a while. I was really like a vampire probably for a week, and then I don't know, in the sport, like all the other pros here, they've all had to tackle something like that in the past. We all do, it's part of our job description. I really believe in the power of positivity and sort of the art of resilience, and that sort of helped me fine-tune my mentality through it. A lot of neurologists helped me to make sure I wasn't too nutty, and then we were good to go, and we decided to race Vineman and Lake Stevens double. And going into it, I know the best thing for me at that time was not to race because of the fear of crashing, but I could have that every day, every time I get on the bike, every time I get in a car. So you just kind of compartmentalize that fear and kind of move forward. So that's what we did. And it worked out okay.
Nice, it has worked out okay. 2012 was just an amazing year. And again, 2013 has been so different for you. How is your mindset right now going into Saturday? Is there less pressure, more? I mean, certainly there's a lot of pressure last year, I felt.
Yeah. We all have pressure, right? It's sort of our responsibility, I think. And, you know, I've never been able to deliver in Kona at any time, as an age grouper, certainly as a pro. And so I think the biggest victory is getting to the start line healthy, happy, uninjured, feel the best you can. And that's my celebration right there. It's just going for it. And I'm going to do everything I can to muster the best performance I personally can do. And there's 35 other amazing, talented, strong women out there. It's going to be a great race. I can't even tell you, there could probably be 20 of those gals that could win the actual world title.
I totally agree. The women's race in particular is really, really competitive from 1 through probably 20.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you,
Thank
Meredith.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you very, very much. Our next guest up here, I've known for quite a while. I remember her doing her first, I think it was her first professional race in Boulder, Colorado, when she was still in med school. It might have been before med school, I'm not sure. Wonderful lady who just joined the Rudy Project team. And yeah, you'll also see lots of her, much like Andy Potts. She'll come out of the water first, second, or third for sure. She probably doesn't like me saying that. She probably just wants me to say first. But please welcome Siri Lindley's Amanda Stevens, Dr. Amanda Stevens. So Amanda, it is always good to see you and Randy everywhere.
Yes, he's my team. So
he is your
yes,
team.
We're always
I know
together.
that. He is your team, even though he was the one to do the last Ironman, right?
Yes, we were just in Tahoe for that 2 weeks ago, and it was definitely quite the opposite of here. We had gloves and hats and toe warmers, like the ski warm things in your gloves and your feet.
But you were cheering.
I was cheering, yes.
You were cheering.
I was spectator.
But let's talk about this, and I just want to ask you about your relationship with Rudy. I mean, you've just joined Rudy Project. You obviously, especially given the fact that you're going to get airtime, you're going to be out of there pretty quickly on the swim and on the bike. So you could go with anybody. Why Rudy Project?
I actually, I spent a lot of time in the wind tunnel early this summer, and we were testing everything, and it was Kona specific. We did all the different winds for Kona, and I didn't have a helmet sponsor, so I had the luxury of trying every single helmet, both for aerodynamic speed and the cool factor, and it was honestly top in all those categories. And I think I've never worn an Aero helmet in Kona before, but it was really, I would just go in the wind tunnel, and I'd put the helmet on and sit there, and they'd just blow the wind while I was standing there. I wasn't even on my bike to test the cool, and like some of them I was steaming in there. I was like, no way. And when we put the Rudy Project, the wingspan on, I was like, it didn't even feel like it was an Aero helmet on. The wind was just rushing through. I was like, this is it. We're done. So I called up Chris, and they have been amazing and awesome just in the short time I've worked with them.
Boy, that's fantastic. That's a great testimonial. That's about the best I've heard. Amanda, what do we expect out there on Saturday? I mean, you've had a total change in your training this year. I know that firsthand. Talk just briefly about the differences in training under Siri, with her guidance and with her team and with the friends like Rennie and Leanda and Rebecca and everybody else, and yeah, I mean, it could go on and on. So yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, it's been definitely, Siri has transformed my life this year. I mean, I've always enjoyed and loved triathlon, but she just kind of takes it to a new level where every day we're out there loving it and enjoying it. And I'm honored and blessed to be able to train with, you know, the top girls in the sport day in and day out. And so we come in here as a team, we come in here, you know, not just me racing alone, there's all of us out there, and we have that camaraderie out on the race course, even though we're still racing each other. It's great to have them out there. You know, so we'll push each other on race day just like we do every training day. And I think just for me, just to go out there, it's really the first year I feel like there's no pressure. I kind of just want to go out there and have fun and have the day that I'm capable of.
Good deal, Amanda. Amanda Stevens, thank you very, very much. From living in Boulder now, but from Oklahoma, a Sooner through and through. Sooner, right? Not a Cowboy.
Yes.
Sooners. Our last guest of the evening, obviously a reason why he's last, because he was first last year. No introduction needed. Please welcome the 2012 Ironman World Champion, Pete Jacobs. Pete Jacobs.
Good evening.
I remember you when, right? In the days when you were just figuring it out.
It was a long, long time ago when I first went through Boulder, and I didn't know anything of what I know now.
No, you really didn't. I mean, oh God. I mean, I can remember everybody talking about Pete Jacobs has so much talent, but is kind of goofy out there. I mean, that was the rap. It was, you know, you did whatever you felt like doing. You didn't have any great guidance, but you had incredible talent. So what happened 2 years ago when all of a sudden you popped in second place in Kona, and last year, of course, you win? I mean, what really got you all straightened out? Getting married and having a family, or what?
Yeah, I think I got to that age, and I got to that age of about 27 where I realized it's either succeed or change, and so I guess it put a little rocket up me that I needed to improve, and so I think I started focusing a bit more, and I came back with some better results here, and my run improved. I think where I really started to show my results here was in 8th place when in 2010, I think it was, and I ran the 241. And that came from a result of working on my running technique, and I figured out a little bit more about how running works and how to be efficient. And then the following year, you know, I had just again not a great bike ride, but another good run, and finished 9th. And then the following year, came back and got second, and that was I guess a pretty good bike ride and a really good run. And then last year, though, it was just improving the bike. I don't think I improved on the bike, but I performed better on the bike on race day. I just had a taper program that really sharpened me up, which I'd never had before. So I really was focused on the win last year, and previously I just thought things would fall in my lap, and I was a little goofy. I just thought, it'll happen, it'll just happen eventually. I believe I'm good enough, so that's enough. But no, it took a bit more than just belief that one day it will happen. It took the focus of really wanting the win to make it happen.
Pete, 2013 hasn't been the best year. You've had some challenges this year, and I know as a fan, watching early in the year, I was saying, boy, I don't know if Pete's going to be there in Kona this year. And then the last couple months, it's been coming together seemingly really well. Can you talk through the year a little bit? Am I missing something, or how was 2013 for you?
2013, it started pretty well. I was really motivated to do well as the world champ and go around and win a few races. And I started training and did my first race, and then pulled up injured in March. So 6 weeks of no running and hardly any biking, and trying to figure out what the issue was. And it was just some tightness that took a while to figure out where it was stemming from. And once we figured out how to fix it, I built back into my season. And it was only sort of 6 or 7 weeks to Honu, 70.3, and then a week later I raced Cairns. 2 weeks later was Frankfurt. 2 weeks later was Philippines 70.3, and then 2 months build up to here. I really need those blocks of pre-Hawaii that I do, where I'm out there doing my long solo 5-hour plus rides on the hilly rides that I have, and that's when I really start to hit my straps, where I really find the improvement. And you know, those sort of long rides you can only do once a year. You can only do a big block of that once a year. So for the last 7 weeks, on my own, just doing what I felt like doing, hilly long solo rides, and as well as putting in the run and the swim efforts consistently. That can only be done once a year. And so the last 4 years I've had an injury at the start of the year, and so my year has built up slowly, and I'm a slow learner, as you know. So finally next year I'm like, right, I'm not going to have a forced break early in the year. I'm going to take a break, do sponsor commitments rather than spend 6 weeks figuring out how to get over an injury. Next year I'm actually going to separate things and have some time off and plan the build into the year, like has happened this year and the previous 4 years. It just works well for me to take that break early in the year and just hit it right around October.
I think you need to write that down and put it on your refrigerator immediately. So have you been out on the Queen K with the Wingspan?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't. My custom paint job, I have not picked that up, or it may have been delivered today, but I haven't got my hands on it yet.
All right.
So I haven't been out there.
Well,
but I rode it. I was one of the lucky ones, or the lucky one that rode it in Frankfurt. So I was the next guy after the Tour de France riders to get to try it on, and yeah, it was fantastic in Frankfurt, and it was a pretty warm day. It felt fantastic. I didn't have time to trial it before the race, so I just went for the basic, no visor, let's not risk anything. But I'm keen to test it out on the Queen K tomorrow and see what happens with the visor as well, and just see how that feels. And yeah, but you know, having the extra tip on the back, the magnetic bit on the back, I went for that in Frankfurt, and it all felt really fantastic. The weight where it is on the head just sits really nicely, and just super comfortable, and I'll believe all the data that the guys say it's super fast as well.
Well, we know you're going to be super fast, and we can't wait to see you on Saturday wearing the Wingspan. Pete Jacobs, thank you very, very much. Reigning Ironman World Champion. Thank you. And hey, there's beer, there's pizza, there's snacks. Paul Craig has an announcement to make, I think. Paul, go ahead.
So everyone knows that Rudy Project's helmets were #1 in 2012 and #1 in 2011. Our lawyers just called me. John Duke just came over and confirmed. Rudy Project will now be the official helmet of Ironman for North America for the next 2 years and 3 months. So we're partnering with them. Hopefully it's a great move. We feel very excited about it, and I just literally got the message just a few minutes ago.
Boy, that's great news, Paul. Congratulations. Congratulations to everybody here, the entire Rudy Project family. Party on, have some fun, introduce yourself to others, and wish everybody the greatest amount of success on Saturday. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you very, very much from Rudy Project, Paul Craig, Cristiano, etc.
Let's hear it for Barry, everybody. Thank you, Barry. Very informative and entertaining. And like Barry said, there's still a lot of beer left. We've got some pizza left over there, some poo-poos, some salads. I'm Aero, real quick. Just want to send out a big mahalo to Paul Craig and the Rudy Project Ohana. I became a part of that Ohana about 4 or 5 years ago, and Paul keeps inviting me back to be a part of it. I do appreciate that. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Aloha, mahalo, ahui ho. Goodbye, thank you, until we meet again.